unmistakable voice of Annie Lennox performing Georgia on My Mind. Hello, Annie.
Hello.
How are you? Now, you played that live.
That was live. That was the live version. That's not from the album.
And you did it live on the chat show a couple of weeks ago, and we got an amazing response to it.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled.
No, because it's just beautiful. And huge congratulations, Nostalgia, only yesterday nominated for a Grammy.
I know. Isn't that amazing?
Does that ever get old?
No, that's brilliant. I mean, I get old.
No, but you know what I mean. You've been nominated for so many things. You've won so many awards. You've got
I see
Oscars.
what you're
You've
saying.
got Oscars. Does anyone even bother to call you now to say you've been nominated for a Grammy?
Listen, that's a thrill. I'm in really good company with Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett, Barbara Streisand. They've all got nominated.
Yes.
Blimey.
Bazar Manilow. Who else?
Bazar Manilow.
Johnny Mathis.
Yes, even him.
Sending you a little Christmas.
I know. I didn't even know he was still around.
Well, I have to say,
that's terrible. Sounds terrible, doesn't it?
Is he gone? No, he's still alive. Oh, he's alive.
Oh, God.
Is he in the building? Is he downstairs? No, you're looking like we're offending him. Kind of like, he's my next guest. Please welcome Johnny Mathis. No, he's not here, but he is here.
Wonderful.
He's not here, but he's here. Yes. It's all good. Now, so Nostalgia, is this the third covers album?
Oh, I wouldn't put it like that.
Oh, it covers...
do we have to describe it in such lowly terms?
Well, no, that's not a bad thing. Because, covers album would be bad if it was like, Joe Schmo down the street. Well, but you're Annie Lennox. So
I'm Annie Lennox, and it is not a karaoke.
No, exactly.
No, it's an interpretation.
Yeah, well, no, I've said this to you before. You take these songs, incredibly familiar songs,
I do.
And then we listen to them again.
Differently, again and again, again and again.
Because how do you... Because obviously you know these songs very well.
Well, I didn't know these songs.
Okay.
Well, I knew Summertime and I knew Georgia. But the other songs, to be frank, I had heard them maybe, I don't know, bits of them. But things like Mood Indigo and I Cover the Waterfront and You Belong to Me and so many of these songs were kind of new to me, and that was part of the wonderful challenge, the creative challenge, is when you sort of discover a song and you fall in love with it and then you create it and recreate it, make it your own. It's a bit of a journey, So I've really loved making this album.
And how does this happen? Is it sort of Team Lennox that goes out hunting and foraging for songs?
It's a huge team of two. And we're at the bottom of the garden in Sheen, basically, in the former garage. It's not really, it's not terribly, we're really cheap. I'm very cheap.
No, but so how does it happen? Do friends kind of go, oh, have you heard this song? I think you'd be...
you mean choosing the material?
Finding the material.
YouTube, dear. YouTube. Yes.
What do you search for?
You just put in...
Good songs.
Great, fabulous songs that no one has heard of much. No, I put in classic songs from the 1930s.
Okay.
Very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even a Luddite like me, I could do that.
And then
they go popping up like mushrooms.
Oh, what a lovely thing.
No, but that's... And you get to watch videos. They didn't have videos in those days, but the artists back in the day, in the 30s, obviously, they were filmed, and you get to see Billie Holiday and Ella Fitzgerald, and it's really like time travel, and that's why I'm so great. The good side of the internet, is all the archival content, which is brilliant.
Funny enough, I just had a chat with a cab driver last night, and we were talking about old American chat shows, and we were both obsessed at looking at old American chat shows.
So you do that? You troll through the internet?
Yeah. And see old interviews with all these long gone stars sitting there in hats, smoking cigarettes and drinking tumblers of whiskey.
Totally different. And still that formula still works. Think about the chat show formula and what actually happens, that you have a host and you have a couple of armchairs and a desk and some guests that come in and they chat. It's all it is. It's just a conversation, but it is so fascinating.
Well, it's all about the guests.
It's all about the guests.
No treble.
No, but I think it's about the host as well, just a bit.
A little bit, but not really.
You set the tone.
Is that what...
You really do set the tone.
Now... The other thing, I might as well ask you, because we've got a pile of questions from listeners, I'm sure it's in here, because people want you to tour this, but you're not going to, are you?
Well, I don't really see how I can, really. I don't know how you do that without everybody asking for Eurythmics songs and Annie Lennox songs, and I don't know how they all work together. I'm thinking about it, but probably not. I'm going to be 60. I'm just very elderly.
No.
They'll be wheeling me. I don't say that. Don't feign surprise. You know how old I am.
But you don't look it in fairness.
But I don't feel it. Sometimes I do, but I feel just the same as I ever did.
Do you do Pilates or something? Do you do some sort of miracle thing?
No, I don't do anything, hugely special. But I do exercise. I haven't exercised for a week because I've been ill, and I don't feel good now that I haven't exercised for a week. It's interesting just what a difference exercise makes to you. It's fantastic. Really.
Well, it's another thing. I dread it, but you're right. You do feel better afterwards.
I hate it. Yeah. But the sort I do, you only have to do for 15 minutes, and that's the kind I like.
That does sound amazing.
It's good.
I like the sort I do.
Yeah, the sort I do. Yeah.
Next Christmas, you'll be on here with Annie Lennox's Christmas Keep Fit video.
No, I don't think that will be happening somehow.
I can see the TV ad now.
I don't see that.
No, it'd be good. And you working out to old rhythmic songs.
Well, I would have done it in the 80s, wouldn't I? Aerobics, remember that? Aerobics.
Apparently they're very bad for you.
Spandex. We now discover it's always bad for you. Everything's bad for you. Everything's good for a bit, and then it's really, really bad, and then it's going to kill you.
The gospel according to Annie Lennox.
Oh, absolutely.
You're right, though, aren't you?
I'm right.
Absolutely, you're right. Now, the other thing I must ask you about, of course, is new music.
New music.
New music.
Okay. I don't know anything about new music, Graham. You probably look like you know that.
No.
Oh, okay.
But are you...
Oh, am I making new music?
Yes. Well, I'm chatting to you.
Oh, to me. I thought you were thinking, do you listen to new music?
No. It's all about you right now. It's all about you.
Oh, but I've got so much to do with nostalgia at the moment.
Okay.
Because, the album, that I have the Grammy nomination.
Yes, and the album is called Nostalgia.
I must go herewith to Los Angeles and do all of that, whatever I have to do.
That's exciting. Well, are you going to go to the Grammys?
Well, if they ask me to go, I think by
nominating you, I think there's an invitation implied. Yeah. It's the longest show in the world, though, isn't it? The Grammys.
Oh, for God's sakes! Yeah, you get an imprint on your bum as you sit there. Very glamorous.
You have no award, but permanent scarring.
Listen, I've sat behind B.B. King and Prince. No, I truly have. I sat behind them, wanting to touch them very badly. And managing not to. But
the good thing is Prince won't block your view.
No, he doesn't. But he has the most extraordinary, and I was in full admiration of clear Perspex high-heeled boots. They were amazing. I've never seen boots like it. Really. And I'm saying that in real seriousness, that I have a great penchant for clear Perspex heeled boots, and I mean Prince can really do that.
Because that's a difficult look for anyone to carry off.
But it's singular to Prince.
Yes,
and I think that's fantastic, don't you?
It is marvellous.
I love that.
We're going to get to some questions from the listeners.
Yes, let's get down to serious business.
But no, before we get on to that, we're going to play another track from the new album. And just while we're not broadcasting, you were saying this is what you think probably the most sentimental of the songs.
I think this is the most, and the most romantic. This is really romantic, but it's a love song, but it could also be like, a parent to a child. It's just so tender. It's not just about, romance between adults.
This is Annie Lennox, You Belong to Me. Oh, gorgeous. And thank you very much to Annie Lennox, broadcasting professional, who we were chatting away, and she went, it's coming to the end. It's coming to the end.
No, I didn't say it like that, girl.
No, you were very good. Yeah, shut up. Right, let's get to listeners' questions. Oh, well, this isn't a question, but it's just a compliment.
It's a statement, is it?
It is a statement. It's from Stephanie. Please, can you just tell Annie that we saw her in a coffee bar in London on a recent visit, and she looks fabulous.
Oh, that's extremely nice, Stephanie. Thank you very much for saying so. I don't always look like... that's the trouble. They could see you at different times.
Oh, really?
People could say, I saw Annie Lennox in a coffee bar. She looked completely wrecked.
But you never look like you're kind of made up. You always look sort of fresh-faced and sort of scrubbed.
Oh, is it? Yeah. I am slightly made up. I put a bit of makeup, put a bit of slap and tickle on for you.
Well, it's subtly done. It's subtly done. Yes, beautifully
it needs
done.
To be
a light touch.
At a certain stage in life, less is more.
Simon from Workshop, you've won so many awards, but are you comfortable when you have to go up and accept them?
God, I love it. I mean, come on. It's not bad. It's better, as they say, than a slap on the face with a wet kipper, I would say.
Yes.
But I was thinking about that yesterday because I heard about getting this Grammy nomination. And when I was a kid at school, used to have every year, like most schools, have the prize giving ceremony, and they always used to have stacks of books and lovely coloured ribbon, and it looked so glamorous, and I never got anything, and I always thought I was such a failure. And it's so funny, that actually this notion of glittering prizes, I am really thrilled to have this nomination. It's great, and all the things that I've been given, and I'm very grateful for them. But at the end of the day, when you're making your music, when you're doing your thing, that's the last thing on your mind. You're just deeply immersed in the creative process.
And I suppose it's that thing, isn't it, when success happens to someone like you? You weren't raised for prizes. You were not raised for...
I was always the one who didn't get them. Usually. Well, not for music. I used to get second prize.
Look at you now.
Look at me.
Lisa in Alton. Your hair. I've always loved it. Like you, I wear it short. But what prompted you to do it in the first place?
It's practicality. Practicality, quite honestly. I mean, I can't even imagine having long hair. Now, I used to have long hair when I was much, much, much younger.
But have you ever had in the tourists or anything due to long hair?
It was a strange amalgamation of long fringe at the front and sort of skinhead crew cut at the back.
Oh, okay.
It was all sorts. I mean, I've had my hair in all sorts of styles, and I've worn wigs on occasion.
Yes,
but for I can't say it, for performance reasons only.
But you've never gone out and about in a wig?
Out and about in a wig?
Because you're so recognisable.
I know, but it's... You know what? People do recognise me, but they're very nice about it usually. They let me be. Sometimes they go, oh, that's Annie Lennox. And I think, oh, Christ.
Do you get... that's all right. It's the name of our Lord who got born at this time of year.
That's not an expletive.
I don't think it is.
Is it?
Yeah, no, it's not.
I meant it well.
Yes.
I meant it well.
It's the name of our Saviour. Reverend Richard Coles is coming on later. He'll be talking about Christ as well, so we're fine.
There you have it.
We're fine. I downloaded Nostalgia the minute it was released. It's a fine album. I think you should be proud of it. Does this... Oh, but she's talking about the fact that you're finding songs... And
right.
Do you hear? I'm not using the. I'm talking around. Yes, I'm censoring a part of it.
Apart from the fact that
no. She just mentioned the word covers. She mentioned.
Yes,
covers. So we mustn't say that. Yeah.
Expletives and covers.
Does it mean you've stopped writing Flynn in Liverpool?
Well, I have for the time being. I don't know. People ask sometimes these questions like, "Have you this or have you that?" And I don't always have the definitive answer. There you go. Yeah. That's a good answer, isn't it? I don't always have the definitive answer.
Yeah.
To anything much.
That's right.
Right.
And also, isn't it weird when people ask you questions, it makes you kind of have to come up with an answer.
You have to.
Where actually there is no,
For certain things, there is no answer.
So really, Flynn, Annie's saying bog off. Just like leave her alone.
I'm not. Oh, no.
Just leave her alone. Stop wanging on about it. Just stop it. Congratulations on the new album Nostalgia. It's really wonderful. I'm wondering if there's anything that she's particularly nostalgic for these days. And this is Neil in Scarborough.
That's a very nice question, actually. I really like that question. It's
way better than the last one, isn't it?
Well, yes, I would say. It's
Flynn in Liverpool. I mean, Flynn really let herself down with that.
Oh, Flynn.
Neil in Scarborough, good question.
Neil in Scarborough. Let's move on swiftly. Nostalgia. I do feel sometimes the thing about time is that it's always swiftly moving forwards and it's never going back. Ever, and it never will. And that's a curious phenomena if you stop to think about it. Because all of us that have been born, we have our childhood that we can refer back to. And I think about the 50s. That was when I was born in 54. So I can actually, it all goes into black and white at this point in my head. Because I think life was in black and white in the 50s, more or less. It went into glorious Technicolor of the 60s, psychedelic Technicolor. It's just funny to think that all these things have happened and they're just memories and you can't go back. So I'm nostalgic for just about everything that's ever happened, really. Apart from the 80s, the 70s and the 80s, I'm really not nostalgic about them. But I would say like the 50s and part of the 60s. And when my grandparents were a lot, they were alive and they were a lot younger and I was just a kid. I'd like to go back. I'd like to go back to Scotland then.
Are we more backward looking? In terms generationally, are we more backward-looking than young people seem to be now? Young people don't seem to know of anything that occurred before they were born.
Well, they don't know anything that occurred. They're just into what's happening now, and it's happening very fast.
But when we were young, we did know that things had happened before we were born.
Well, it was slower time, wasn't it? It was not so many things to distract us, not so much information to kind of drown us in.
Okay. Will in Redditch. Do you still play the flute?
Never. Oh, yes, I do. I lied. I played flute on Nostalgia.
Oh.
You can hear it.
Oh, which tracks?
On Strange Fruit.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
I did.
And because the Royal Academy of Music you were at?
Yes, indeed. It took a great deal of study and intensive training so that I could play those few notes on Strange Flute. Strange Flute.
Strange Flute.
There you have it.
Yeah. Were you ever tempted to go into that world?
I was. That's the reason why I kind of went to the Academy. I actually thought I could be a flute player and play in a chamber ensemble. And that's what I thought I would probably do, but it wasn't for me. It really wasn't. I didn't know. Like when you're a teenager, you don't know. You think you want to do X, Y, and Z, and actually, the reality of it is usually a bit different to the dream.
And also, it's just as valuable finding out what you don't want to do.
Oh, you have to know that as well. And then I realised I didn't want to do it on the first day that I went to the Academy.
That's unfortunate.
That was not great, because I was kind of contracted for 3 years. Wasn't great.
But you were in London, which is exciting.
Well, I thought it would be, but you see, it's not really great when you have to live on £3 a week, which is kind of what I had to live on back in those days.
Yeah, but even then...
No, it was rough, honestly, Graham.
No, it's rough. It's much nicer. London with money is much nicer.
Camberwell, Elephant Castle, ooh, it was rough.
They're still there.
I know, but they're much better now.
Not really.
Oh, really? Oh,
No.
I thought it was a very glamorous place.
They put up some new street lighting, but that's about it.
I thought that's where all the parties happen.
Well, yes, but do you go to them?
No, I hear about them.
Very quickly. Frances from Seven Oaks want to know, what do you reckon on Band Aid 30? Can music still make a difference in that way?
Look here. Can £1 million make a difference? Yes, it can. End of story. End of it. That's it. Thank you very much to everybody in Great Britain who so generously donate to things like that. Fantastic. I have no issue with the Band-Aid thing.
Good for you. Well said, that woman. Yeah. No, I agree.
That's what I think about it. Yeah. I mean, you can raise £1 million and then maybe you can quibble and say it could have been done differently. Sorry, thanks very much. All these... What is it Russell called that fellow again? Snide. Snides. So too many snides in the world.
Because I thought he'd got it wrong. I thought you couldn't use it as a noun, but actually it is in the dictionary.
He did. It's the first time I heard of it.
Yeah,
snide.
But it is a noun.
Yeah, but John Lennon used it, didn't it? Like in I Am the Eggman, something about snide. If you look it up in the song, the word snide comes up in I Am the Eggman by the Beatles. Wow. Yes, it does. Yeah, that's the first time I ever heard the word.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
Lovely, lovely Annie Lennox. Thank you so much for coming in. Nostalgia is out now, and best of luck at the Grammys.
Thank you.
Fingers crossed for you.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.